Hi, welcome to this introduction video to a series of bat reps that I'm going to start over the next few months, I guess. Now, down at the shop, they've started a campaign. It's more of an escalation league where we're going to start with a low power level armies and slowly build up over time. Now, there's really no end date set to this, but it's set on the planet of Konor after this devastation that we've just experienced through the Konor campaign led by GW. Now, on it you'll see there's a planet that's been ravaged. There's plenty of factions still with remnants on the planet vying for their, whatever it is they're trying to accomplish. What I'll be doing is what we will be doing is starting out with a 25 power level army. Very small, starting with a HQ and a troop, but it is not. We're not using detachments yet. We're starting detachmentless because, again, the idea is you don't have really any type of support from behind you. Your commanders are all gone off to the next whatever it is. You guys are left behind to clean up the pieces or loot what you can. Destroy whatever you can, corrupt whatever you can, whatever it is your army's goal is, right? So we start out with 25 power levels with an HQ and a troop, and then we can add. Now the troop has to be minimum squad size, and you cannot add another troop or HQ until you also already added an elite, fast attack, and heavy support. Again, min squad size. Now the idea is it's kind of to help avoid power creep. Where you start spamming certain units, right? And it's almost a Highlander concept, except it's not. You're not limited to one unit of a particular type. You're limited to one force organization slot until you've gotten one of each, and then you can start stacking. But again, in order to get the second one, like I say, you need to get one HQ, elite, troop, fast attack, and heavy support. In order to get the third of those, you need to have two of each of those. And so you kind of help spread it out a bit. The idea, of course, being let new people start playing the game who don't have a lot of models yet. Matter of fact, some of the armies are painfully small, which is okay, We're going to be starting, or I'm going to be starting with, in a very narrative fashion. And most of the bat reps will be played with, my army, of course. These aren't going to be treated as saber duels because of the special escalation league we're part of. And no one's really challenging me. This is just you're part of the league. So here's the deal. I'm going to start with a big mech with just a power claw and rocket launcher, combi rocket launcher, with custom force field, of course. Add to that a squad of Gretchen and run herd, a mob of Grot tanks, so 4 Grot tanks, and a battle wagon, which will be hard cased. It'll have the def roll. It'll have 2 rocket launchers, 2 big shooters, a wrecking ball, and a cannon. So that'll just kind of round it out. Now the goal is to have fun. This is really, there's no story we're progressing toward. The stories will happen within each of the battles, right? Now I'm going to limit my videos to making the bat reps to having painted opponents, painted models on the opponent side. Now today I had 3 battles already, but the armies that I was facing didn't have completely painted models. They were either just primed or partially painted. So I didn't want to. Do that. I would have loved to. The second player I was playing was a blast. With his Dark Eldar or Drukhari, but the paint wasn't complete on all the models, so I didn't want to. I've kind of felt bad. Would you do me a favor, if you would, and comment below? Do you think it matters at this point? Should I be limiting that for this particular series? Should I limit it to only painted models? Just let me know. My saber duels and saber epics and campaigns, all those will be painted only, because those are a special series. But this is something new, and I want some feedback from you guys. Let me know what your opinions are. So, quick recap of today. It was actually a great fun. Today we had the first opponent I had was playing Skitarii, and he had a Dragoon, he had 5 Electro Priests, he had the Tech Priest Dominus, he had a 5-man squad of Vanguard, and he had a, what do you call those, Dunewalkers, right? Well, the mission was drawn from the Cards of War, I forget what they call those. So we had essentially a standard deployment, but we had a relic in the middle essentially that we'd try to get. And the trait or the tweak or special thing that was going on, the twist they call it, was that at the beginning of each turn we could heal 1 model D3 wounds. And so that changed the game quite a bit. My battle wagon would not go down as a result. He kept keeping his stuff up. The game only lasted 5 turns though, and as a result I was able to win that one. I did steal the relic with the Runt Herd and loaded it back up on the wagon. In the end, in the second match, I was going up against a Dark Eldar force, and I actually fought him twice, 2 separate missions, the same force. Raider and a Venom as dedicated transports, an Archon, who happened to have a Husk Blade in the Shadow Field, a Trueborn squad, and a Kabalite Warrior squad. So real small, it was kind of neat. On the first one, I got to go first because I placed first and had 2 drops. My opponent also had 2 drops, but he was not able to seize initiative. The whole point in that game was kill points, and I was able to take out 4 of his units, as well as getting First Blood and Linebreaker. And he was only able to take out, I think, 1 of my units. Yeah, the Grots, basically. So it was a very painful battle. The fun of it was, though, my wonderful Grots landed the last wound on the Raider in close combat and took out the last Kabalite Warrior in close combat. So I felt really good about having my little Smurfs do well in combat. Of course, then they proceed to get clobbered, and that's what you expect. In the rematch, though, the game was different. It was actually, what do they call it? It's the first Eternal War mission. It's called, oh, shoot. Yeah, it's retrieval, I guess. Retrieval mission of some sort. Anyway, 4 objectives, 3 points each. And just for fun, we just used 4 Orc boys, 1 Nob and 3 boys as the objectives. I figured I'm scrounging through the ruins trying to find loot, and hey, if I run across orcs, great. You know, add them to my warband. If of course, my opponent is Dark Eldar, they're looking for prisoners, so it suited us well. Unfortunately, in that one, it didn't go so well for me. It was still a hard-won fight, and my opponent learned to keep his Raider and Venom high up on the top levels of the ruins and what have you, so that I couldn't get into close combat with my battle wagon. And I was not as lucky with a lot of shooting, but I did take out the Raider, took out his Kabalites, but he ended up with 2 of the 4 objectives. I was contesting a 3rd. Yeah, it happened. So 2 for 1 today. Was very good as fun, nice small matches. They really at 25 power level, they seem to balance out well today anyway. So that's just a quick summary and introduction to what's all going on. And so hopefully next week, well, sorry, it won't be next week, but over the course of the next weeks, you'll see occasional videos on this. Every 2 weeks, there will be an increase in the size of the armies, and it'll be random, basically a D10 points, power level points added. So we don't, and everybody's going to get the same, so we don't really know how quickly or how slowly our armies are going to grow. And there's plenty of fighting out there, though, so stay tuned. And you'll see, of course, a lot of my armies and hopefully battle reports from some of the other armies that are out there. So thanks for sticking with me. Share, like, and subscribe. And especially if you want to see more of this, click that notification bell. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.